Welcome to Herstory Revisited, where we explore more than you ever wanted to know about things you've never heard of. Together we uncover the hidden threads of the past through the eyes of women, the unsung sheroes, innovators, and peacemakers who shaped the world in ways history failed to acknowledge. Woven through these stories is a golden thread, the evolution of humanity and human consciousness. From pilgrims to pioneers, from forgotten voices to transformative moments, we explore history through the lens of the divine feminine. Because history isn't just his story, it's her story too. So it's March of 2026. And the thing that's crazy about this time is it seems that these planetary alignments and the spirit of the fire horse and all of these coronal mass ejections are not an accident, that they're actually part of this unfoldment of human consciousness and this upgrade of humanity that was prophesied 30, 40 years ago. But we had a very unique view of history because we were allowed into some of these circles. And recently, I believe it's the return of the ancestors, because I've just been finding folders from the past. And I found a folder of a really incredible conference that I attended in November of 1996 at Estes Park, Colorado. It was a conference called the Star Vision Conference. There was a Native American man named Pathfinder, coincidentally, who had had an extraterrestrial close encounter with a craft. And on that craft were these symbols. And every symbol on that craft was meant to be an activator to an ancient memory hidden in the field of human DNA. And that in the ancient times, when we went through the last golden age, there were rainbow light codes encoded into human DNA. And what the prophecies basically said was there's a 12-strand version of human DNA that is birthing on another dimension, on the fifth dimension above human consciousness. And because human consciousness doesn't yet have the tuning fork to tune continually to the fifth dimension, and they're still very much bound by the thinking of the third dimension, the way to get out is by releasing our notion of time, releasing how we think about time and how fixated on fixed time and linear time humans have been. As soon as we realize that time is not a fixed place, and that literally years ago in the 90s, many of these prophets, including Dolores Cannon, said that outside of the field of human consciousness is the auric field. And that auric field has this vibration. And the vibration of it is operating on frequencies that the human brain cannot yet perceive, but the soul is still interacting. And they call this the rainbow bridge. Like there's this rainbow circle of light that surrounds each and every one of us. And that within human DNA is the ability to tune to a higher dimensional frequency of your own consciousness and be able to tap into unity consciousness. And so this pivotal conference that I'm talking about was called the Star Vision Conference. It was held by a man who ended up becoming chief of the Dakota Sioux Nation. His name was Lawrence Standing Elk. And Later, his name was changed to Chief Golden Light Eagle, I think. Anyway, the Star Vision Conference in 1996 was meant to bring the elders together and to have the elders share with the Westerners finally the prophecies of their ancestors that had been carefully held for all this time, and that we would begin to join the star family, and that when we did join the star family, all of humanity would be united in one unity consciousness. So let me share with you the prophecy, which is, in this time when the second millennium shifts into the third, a time which has been widely prophesied as a golden age of peace, the promise of heaven on earth grows ever more poignant in the human heart. This watershed time we live in asks for the unification of human hope and altruism. The promise of human unity comes precisely when the diverse dangers presented by a human race invested in ownership and short-term pleasure have created unprecedented concerns of global magnitude. The earth, clothed in beauty and providing abundance for all creatures, is understandably often characterized as a mother. But given the environmental disregard, the deforestation, the poisoning of soils, the pollution of our waters, ozone depletion, and an ever-expanding human population, our mother, the earth, is not being respected for the delicate web of life she has woven, and it is in danger. The highest yearnings of a beleaguered humanity require concrete assistance in every avenue of this endeavor. So that was the basis of the Star Vision Conference. And what we're going to be sharing with you over time is the particular viewpoint about humanity's consciousness awakening given by the Sioux Nation. This particularly is from Standing Elk, the Dakota Sioux. What Star Visions, the Spirit of One, represents is a coming together of all nations. This was November 24th of 1996. Every being in this room has at one time or another been a red man, a black man, a yellow man, a white man, or even a star man. This conference is about our history and our birthright. It is a celebration, a time to remember, and a time to have a party. We are each threads in the tapestry of life, with the same great spirit beating in all of our hearts. We come here today to remember and celebrate oneness. We each have a mission and a purpose for being here right now. It is a time that we each stand tall and we walk our talk. This is the moment that we have all been waiting for. And the time is at hand. Daniel Brinkley says that we are all great and powerful spiritual beings, and it is time that we act that way. Never again shall we give our power away to another, and together we have the power to change the world forever. In Ken Carey's book, Return of the Bird Tribes, he talks about the formation of the Iroquois Confederacy with Hiawatha and the Tree of Peace. Hiawatha said directly, with his vision of this confederacy, quote, something as simple as a human hand created by a great spirit with 5 fingers, each one separate, individual, and independent. Something this simple can topple a great tree when the 5 fingers work together as one. When our 5 separate nations are working together, we have great power. Let our 5 nations become the 5-fingered hand of Great Spirit. Let us eradicate the tree of war, the habits of warfare, the ways of violence, not only for our nations, but for the nations of generations to come. Human hands serving the purpose of Great Spirit, given again to the purpose of peace, can uproot even the greatest of all trees in the forest. though the truth may be simple as a hand, and though it may be gentle as a hand, aligned with the powers of heaven and earth, that single hand can stand up to the greatest lie, to the most entrenched habit or tradition, to the most stubborn and firmly rooted illusion, and that single hand can topple it as easily as a single hand topples a tree. So that's Hiawatha and his Prayers for Peace and the Star Vision Conference from 1996. I'll be telling you more about this as time goes on. Thank you. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow the show, share it with someone else who loves a good story, or leave a review. It helps us to keep this channel going. Thank you for coming by, and until next time, stay curious and keep asking questions. We'll see you soon.